Alright, now let's see if that fixed it. Again, I am sorry everybody for all the lagginess we were having. But hopefully this change will fix it. Reset the computer, and while I was resetting the computer, I was restarting the computer, I suppose. I looked into a couple things that may fix it. Hopefully. Again, we've never had this problem with 14 before, but we were definitely having it then. Alright, it seems to be running a whole lot better right away. Again, I'm sorry for everybody that was having a good time. Then we had to stop. It took a lot longer to fix it than I thought it would too, but... Is this a lookout? That is a lookout for that sightseeing. Cool. But yeah, it seems to be running a lot better already, so that's cool. Good to see. Good to see. Again, sorry for the unfortunate stream restart there, everybody. Basically, the encoding broke, and so the stream was stuttering super badly. The FPS had gotten down to, when I looked at the stats on the back end while I was restarting the computer, the FPS had got down to 6 because the encoding broke. So I fixed the encoding, and we are back and ready to rock again. Should not have that problem again with the encoding changes that I made. Again, never have this problem when we're not streaming 14, but when we stream 14, everything breaks. But I'm glad we figured it out now before Shadowbringers. So the other VOD will probably disappear. I don't think I can save it. It's just too stuttery once the encoding breaks. But we will continue here. So this is Shisui of the Violet Tides. That's a really fun dungeon. If you haven't run it yet, you should. But we found it down here at the bottom of the ocean. And then from there, having completed that, we went back to Onokoro. Stream should be almost perfect now, hopefully. Hopefully. Let me know if it's still not perfect for you guys, but it should be just about perfect. Oh, man. What a day already. What a day already that it has been. I don't know if people understand just how stressful it is trying to stream when stuff breaks. You watched SRW live stream yesterday? Nice. Anything good in there? I love this map. It's a good map. I think we are all set now. Everything looks to be running just fine. We shouldn't have any big difficulties going into Stormblood. 1500 max. Wow, that's a lot. Should be good. Looks like all 3 of our streaming platforms are doing good. Okay, and again, I'm sorry about that, everybody. After we got through with Shisui, we came back through to Onokoro. And we turned in some information over there to the Confederates, which we'll come by and say hi to them. Then we moved to Yangsha. But before we go to... Hey, what's up? How's it going, buddy? Before we go to Yangsha, we'll go check out one of the side stories that could be done in this area that I completed all the way. It's a really fun side story. There's also Heaven on High here, which is really cool. Big Mike Guy, Big O, and Duo. Cool. So this is the home of the Confederacy. Ruby Sea. If we go all the way up to the top over here, I think it's back here is where, yeah, Tansui and Rasho are. These were our contacts with Confederates. Kansui has Sig's face, basically. Which make things interesting, but they have different hair, so it worked out. The Dark Knight video is coming out tomorrow, Gargoyle. Don't worry about that. It's still coming. You guys got an outfit similar to what I wear on Dragoon. But when we got done with them, we went that way. We're going to go that way in a minute. But first, we're going to head over here and we're going to check out one of the side stories that we did in Stormblood. That's super cool. And again, if you missed us going through the peaks and the fringes, and well, half the peaks and half the fringes and Kugane, I am sorry. But we're back on now. And we're going. Oh, man. Type it out to the FC. You can't see them because privacy. Oh. But yeah, we got down here and we got to the Four Lords quest line, which was really cool. A lot of fun. Really interesting boss fights, actually. And I think it's over here is the entrance to be able to get back down. Yeah, it's over here. And what's cool is even after you complete it, you can still, because there's a dungeon there, good dungeon, you can still go back down there and check it out. So we'll go back down to the temple. Of course, everybody down here is having a good time. You got your different people that you get helped and you talk to. You got all Soroban. Everybody's happy and excited for the future, you know. This is a really cool area down here too. I like it a lot, this little temple. Wish that we could explore it some more, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, tomorrow will be the Dark Knight video. Thursday will be the ranking video of all the jobs. And then Friday will be a 24-hour stream. Which is why I'm glad that the bad happened today and not then. Go with bikini with a figure and mouse pad, uncomfortable? Does sound strange. But yeah, I'm glad that we had our technical difficulties today and not Friday for the 24-hour stream. Would have been real unfortunate, but I like this mount a lot. This is the Cavalry Drake that you get from the Amalja. Good mount. I guess we should be using Stormblood mounts. No, this week I'm not streaming Thursday at all because I'm streaming for 24 hours on Friday. So there will not be a stream on Thursday. I'm streaming as close to 24 hours as I can get on Friday. As long as I don't get called into work or pass out, we should be good. But this week is the week of 14. Next week it'll go back to normal streams as usual. That's what I was saying. It was unfortunate that my vacation, right? My work vacation, as we called it at work and had a good time calling it that, because that's what I don't get a vacation because of that now. My work trip then immediately followed up by E3, then immediately followed up by 14, like launch. It's unfortunate that all three of those were within like a month of each other because it feels like we haven't had that many regular weeks of streams at all. But we'll go back to regular weeks of streams starting next week. And to my knowledge, until the end of July, well, even then it won't change. So it should be regular weeks of streams all the way through. But then we come to the Azim Steps, which is my favorite zone in the entire game. I've done a in the zone just on the steps. The steps were such a cool thing, man, in this game. It was so nifty to get to the steps, have a completely different zone than any we'd had in the game before, and then to meet the character that we meet here. Reunion's a really cool town, and you have this awesome cliff where we meet that character, and things change forever, you know? Then we go to the mall. Here, we'll use a Stormblood mount. Because we're in a Stormblood area. We'll use the Stormblood mount. Where's my Yol at? Tomato. Yol. You think there's going to be an SRW trailer this December? We'll find out. This is just such a cool zone, man. I want to go over there. I want to know what's over there. Another one of those zones where it feels like even after you get flight, it's still not super easy to get across the zone. But you get to see a lot of it more often. But we get to the mall. We come in here and we talk to the people of the mall. And they're really cool. I liked them a lot. They're really nice characters. Sarita grew on me. I wasn't a huge fan of her right away, but she grew on me. And there were some really fun quests around here. There's still some more that I need to do. I need to clear all this questing out. Maybe we'll do that on Dancer or Gunbreaker. But, you know. Detective. You talking about Hildebrand? Hildebrand's back in Kugane. Actually, Hildebrand's already gone again, but from there we could not get into Reunion. Or not Reunion, we could not get into the Dawn Throne to get the stuff we needed done because we hadn't passed the challenge at Barnum's Meadow yet. Nobody would listen to us, nobody liked us. We had to come over and do Barnum's Meadow. Arnold's Meadows is a really good dungeon. I like it a lot. I love the challenge boss that is just like a, hey, mechanics. I think we need one of those way earlier on in the story to make sure people learn those mechanics. But it's a really interesting place. I like it a lot. See it back there. And then once we got Barnum's completed, then we had to talk to the rest of the tribes and let them know we wanted to do a big challenge. So we had to go visit my favorite tribe. We had to go visit the Dutharl. The Dutharl! John Wick is everywhere. It's a good movie. And Keanu Reeves is actually a really nice guy, so I am not upset by that fact. I love this zone, man. I'm gonna miss some of these Stormblood zones a lot. I feel like I won't be coming back to them that often. I wish there'd been a combat beast tribe here as well, not just a crafting one, but you know. Yeah, you get down here to the Dutharl. You talk to best girl, Sadu. Best girl this entire game. Pretty cool. You had to fight her, prove that you're strong. She'll accept you. Which is pretty nice. And then once you're accepted, you know, then you can go up and talk to the Dawn Throne, and you can start up the giant battle that's to take place on the steps, and you do, and it's really cool and it's really hype. And then you're recognized as the Khan, and then you can move to the next zone. Gamera, kind of. Kind of. Excuse me, just coming in here on my giant turtle. And then there's Magnai. Little son. What's up, buddy? How's it going? He's got a really cool axe. I think you can sit in these chairs. I don't remember. It's been a while. Oh yeah, you super can. I deserve this seat here. Are they gonna sit in one of the other ones? Will they? Will they? Nah, they're not going to. They're just gonna leave. Oh well, it's worth a shot. But from there... From there, you've beaten just about everything to do with the steps. The steps are really cool. There is a beast tribe up here that I have not unlocked yet. And you go, but Trey, you play this game every day. How could you have not unlocked these? It's because of this. I haven't unlocked them because I have not leveled up my crafters enough. Once I have all of the Stormblood combat jobs up, or Shadowbringers combat jobs up, I'm going to start working on crafters. I'm going to get my gatherers leveled up all the rest of the way. As you can see, I already got miner up there, but I'm going to get the rest up there. And then I'll be doing these crafters. Maybe we'll stream some of that just for the fun of it. But Dorohiro is in pretty bad shape right now until we get it repaired. I have seen it repaired in other people's screenshots, so I know we can do it. That's also how you get that mount, and I want that mount really badly. So, but from there we go to Yangsha. I want to go out there too. I'm pretty sure that's the way to the bird. I want to go out there, man. I love this flying motorcycle too. It's really cool. Oh, we gotta kill some of these things for hunting log. Show off what samurai can do then real quick. Ikebana. What do we have to kill? Need to kill more than one, that's for dang sure. It's two. Three more we need to kill. At least one more. Alright, get ready. We're gonna do it. Hidare Setsugeka! Look at all that health he just lost. Done. Samurai's a lot of fun, man. Samurai does so much damage. We'll use our Finra. You think Keanu Reeves is immortal? I mean, he could be. He is Neo, after all. He's also one of those people that, you know, there are people in this world that you can't just use their first name. Like, nobody, I guess somebody probably does, but nobody just calls Tom Hanks Tom, you know? Tom Hanks. Keanu Reeves. So, you get to Yangsha, and it's quite different from the other zones, honestly. There's a lot more yellow as compared to the green, but not like the dull yellow of the desert. More of just like this pale yellow. You come out into this area full of these like crystals and everything here. It feels very different. It feels very cool. I don't know, I've used the word cool a lot, but you know. I think it's cool. Yeah, he's in Cyberpunk as well. Absolutely. We'll build up to another Setsugeka here. We'll kill this one with a Setsugeka. Satsukaiten. Hidari Setsugeka. Nage High-End. Yep. Any more? Another one? I was hitting the wrong button. I was like, why am I not doing my gap closer? I hit the wrong button. She's so blade. Samurai's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Switch over to Ninja for the rest of this area. Yeah, right. What do we get? So, we get through this area here, and we're told we need to go to the House of the Brave. We're like, man, what the heck is the House of the Brave, you know? And you go through this little area here. You get into this secret base. The House of the Fierce, sorry. House of the Fierce. Into this secret base down here that he and his people have. And it's pretty cool. Pretty nice little place. I like it. Go in there for cutscenes, but just that's about it. It's a nice place. I like it a lot. We go from there to Namai, which is the city that's closest to it, which is the city that's been hiding them and supporting them all this time. Obviously, again, when you get here, you can't fly. You got to find the aether currents, so you're forced to explore the area a little bit more, which is cool. Namai's down this way. You also get to see just how much control the Garleans have over the people here. I went too far. And that the people are kind of afraid of the Garleans, which is something, like, in Eorzea, we don't see that very often anymore, you know? That's our House of the Fierce one. The Namai one is down this way, isn't it? Oh, that's right, because right now we can't go through there because all of this is all shielded up for Doma Castle. So we can go to the House of the Fierce, but we can't really get where we're wanting to go over there. Because over here is Doma's Castle. So we have to go back through the Ruby Sea to get to the other side, but we're not going to do the whole walking. We're just going to teleport over there. For 70 gil. Because, you know, it's whatever. V8 V Fusion. I have juice for Friday. I have juice and apple chips for Friday. But after today's stream, the rest of the week until Friday morning will be me resting up, getting my voice back, hopefully, shaking off this cold, and being able to stream for hopefully 24 hours. So, Namai. It's a pretty cool place. There's a lot of interesting characters. I'm going to say cool again. Cool apparently is the only word I can say today. A lot of interesting characters here, like Issei. I really like Namai, man. It's just a little chill town, you know? Nothing wrong. I mean, there's a lot of stuff wrong, but right now there's nothing wrong. They grow their rice. They keep to their own business. They don't get in the way for anybody as much as they can help it. But unfortunately, you know, they are being kind of forced into slavery by the Garleans. So, it's going to be tough, man. I haven't done one that long with this channel. I have with the old channel that I used to be a part of. And then I did it for Extra Life with Rather Be Drummond. I went 24 hours. But I haven't done it on the full spectrum yet. So I'm excited to do it. But it's not going to be easy. We'll take mini breaks. We'll have water and juice, Dr. Pepper, and apple chips, nuts, and stuff like that. As you can see, the area took quite a beating. Bridges have been destroyed. Gates have been damaged. But the Garleans still held strong. It's around this area where you have a mission with Yugiri, where you have to fire some darts at guards to knock them out. It's a really fun mission, actually. Energy drinks? I do not normally drink energy drinks. Too much sugar in those things. Says the guy who drinks Dr. Pepper, right? I just normally try to steer clear of them. Steer clear of them. That's the phrase. We try to use this gate at one point. It gets pretty hype. It gets pretty crazy. This is also where we can find an Amazu stuck in the ground over this way. We help him out. No big deal, you know. No big deal. And then some Gamera. We'll probably get it as part of our. This button right here is a random mount from our favorites. We'll probably get it again at some point through there. I like red hair quite a bit though. Ugh, words, man. I tried to combine red hair and red horse, and it didn't work, but, you know. Yeah, we get to the Yuzuka Manor. There's Namazu here. They're kind of helpful. They're kind of not helpful at the same time, you know? What can you do? And we get more information that we need. So we decide, there's also a dungeon over there, Swallow's Compass. Completely separate from the main story, just a fun dungeon. We decide that we have to bring the fight to the Garleans. We get everybody on our side with the Azim Step. We gather everybody up together, and we take on Doma Castle. The fight's not easy. Friends are lost along the way. But we eventually conquer Doma Castle. In the process, however, we have to flood Doma Castle. And so, maybe one day we will get to see Doma Castle rebuilt, but Doma Castle is in really bad shape. But map for coldest place? That was in Heavensward. The Kurthus areas are super cold. As you can see, Doma City is in ruins. Doma Castle is in ruins. It's a really fun dungeon, though. Shame that we have to, you know, destroy it in the process, but really fun dungeon. So from there, having finally secured Doma's backing, we head back to Rogger's Reach. Now, while we've been gone, some things have gotten better, some things have gotten worse. We'll go to Castrum Oriens, because that's where we're ultimately heading. Back in the fringes. And here in the fringes, we go take Castellum Velladina back from the Garleans. We need to make a showing right now, basically, because we fight Xenos Galvus again in Yangsha. And so we need to make a showing right now that we are willing to fight back against the Empire. Yeah, Heavensward is Dark Knights and regular Knights. Yes, absolutely. So we take Castellum Velladina, and we continue that push. And again, it's been a while. Anybody in chat would like to tell me that I'd missed some stuff that we did, let me know. But to the best of my memory, this is when we take Castellum Velladina and move in on the other side over here to get to the other half of the peaks. It's also when we free the Peering Stones. What'd you miss? You missed Doma, Yangsha, and the Azim Step. But the VOD will still be up if you wanted to go back and see those, as well as us killing a couple things on Samurai. But also over here, we will go to the peaks in just a second. Over here is where you can get into the Omega quest line and do the Omega raids, which I've completed. They're a lot of fun. They're really good raids. Not all the fights are great, but most of them are, which is not what you can ask for, you know? It's also around this time that we have to interact with the Ananta, and we realize that the Ananta are close to summoning their primal, Lakshmi. So, you know, we have to head into the Ananta villages and try and deal with them. As you can tell, all of these ones are hostile. So, you can guess how well that turned out. But, you know, it didn't. But they didn't like us very much. I think we can actually go all the way up into the area that that you go into for that quest. I also forgot to point out while we were in the Ruby Sea, we fought their primal, Kojin's primal Susanoo. It's pretty hype. That's a good fight. It's a real good fight. Toba was like the Alamo, kind of. We find our way down here. Look like an interesting Starlight Pit, in a way. And we fight Lakshmi. And it's a pretty good fight. Pretty good fight. And then with Lakshmi defeated, we can turn our direction back to the Garleans again. And we head to the peaks. The fight against the primals in Stormblood, because there's one more. I was going to wait and talk about them all afterwards, but I can talk about them now. The fight against the primals in Stormblood, I think the fights were more... There was more to do in those fights. How's it going, fanboy? Than there were in the fights with Heavensward with primals. But I think I like the primals in Heavensward more, if that makes sense. I don't dislike these by any stretch of the imagination, but I just think I like the primals in Heavensward a little bit more. I like Ravana a lot, and so it doesn't help that Ravana is one of the Heavensward ones, comparing to Lakshmi and Susanoo. But I will say one of my favorite moments in this entire game involves Lakshmi, so, you know. Also, this is a really cool thing that I love that they do here in Stormblood. You are now in the other half of the peaks, and you can see the lower half of the peaks down there below you, which is just really cool. You know, like they're connected. They're the same zone, but they're at two different altitudes, and so until you get the ability to fly, you can't pass between them. Another thing we forgot to talk about in the peaks earlier is this pyramid. Oh yeah, man, I'm excited for that DLC. By the time we get to the end of the game in the stream playthrough, we'll probably be at the DLC. I think it'll already have come out, most likely. But you get this pyramid here. This upside down ziggurat. Which is pretty cool. Nifty little thing here. It has some story relevance. It's important to like one of the other calamities. I think it's the fourth, but doesn't really do much in the story here in Stormblood. It pops up one time and then you kind of leave it alone, you know? Yeah, kind of like Helen Xenoblade. If you can see it, you can go there. That's the way most of this game is, though there will be areas sometimes that you can't, which is unfortunate. DLC's coming out this Thursday? I thought it was longer than that. Wow. Pretty cool. So these broken bridges are what stops you from just walking up the cliffside. But obviously if you can fly, then you can just fly up there. So we get to the peaks, and we get to this castrum here. And it's a tough fight. It's a really tough fight. Things don't go as well as they should. Looks like we're going to lose. Things are bad. And then our boy, Astinian, comes to our rescue, takes out a cannon, and we're able to then succeed without the cannon blowing us to pieces. The cannon is up there on the other castrum. But you can see the damage. It was not an easy fight. But we do eventually win. These walkways we can fly. Well, you can't fly until you attune to the ether currents. So, walkways are important until that point, unless they're broken. But from there, also that's important to the fourth calamity right there. That's the arc that the people of the time got on to be able to survive. Still some magic built into it, for sure. Would like to see Tori come back to it at some point, but you know, we'll see. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll follow up with your Hope. Regardless, with that out of the way, we can focus on freeing this town over here. Alagiri, and A lot of fun quests in Aligiri. I think I've done them all now. But with Aligiri freed, we then have... Yeah, Aligiri. We then have free reign of this territory. We recruit a bunch more people into our military, and we go forth to fight for Alamigo itself in the locks in our final zone of Stormblood. We're going to take a little detour real quick, though, and swing by our boy Raubad's hometown, because it's right over here. Old Hearth. Things don't grow as well as they used to here. There's also a really tragic quest in this area about a soldier that didn't make it home and delivering the news to his mom, and it gives you the choice whether to tell her that he's alive or dead. It's super sad. But you push through. There's another one of those cannons, as you can see. Those things can mess you up. Goodness for Estinian. We head into Castrum Abadia. Into the locks. At this point, you fought Xenos a couple times. You're looking forward to getting to beat him, you know. You're excited for it, and you get into the locks. And right away, you can see your goal, right? It's one thing I love about this zone, is that as soon as you get here, there's where you're going. It's right there. Get ready to go, you know? The zone's a lot bigger than you think it is, just looking at that, too, because you look at it and you go down over here and go up those steps, and there we go. We're into Alamigo. Not quite. There's a lot more to this zone than that, but it's a cool looking zone. Let's get a different mount and we'll switch classes again. We'll go to Red Mage? Yeah, we'll go to Red Mage. So we have our little resistance camp down here where everybody gathers to get ready to fight. And then the first thing we have to do is head this way and talk to the Saltery, get the people over here to help us and not rat us out. As you can see, there's the wide path up there. We'll go up there in just a second. Dark clay beasts. I really like the locks, man. There's something special I can't wait to show you guys in the locks, too. Those of you that haven't seen it yet. This zone's really cool. We come over here, talk to some people over here, we get some stuff set up, we get some forces gathered in this monastery. There's some people still doing the quest over here too. And then we make for the main path into Alamigo. You can go underwater in those too. Pretty cool. So we get up here and that door won't budge. We cannot get through that door. So we gather together all the might of our armies that we have. We fire magic at it. We fire cannons at it. We do everything we can to get through that door. And eventually, we're able to bust a hole in there big enough that we can move through. Just this walkway is so epic, man. Look at this. Oh yeah, we'll take on some enemies. Why a farewell to Stormblood? Because I love Stormblood. And Shadowbringers comes out Friday. But as you can see, we bust our way in, and then we do the dungeon Alamigo. And going through the dungeon Alamigo, we get to fight all the way through to the core of Alamigo, where some things go well, some things go wrong. Yep. But there's a couple other cool things in this zone as well. We've got area over here. Cool. And then, of course, we're going to show off the thing that I want to show off before we go into Alamigo itself. You may be thinking, well, there you go. You were talking when we got to Kugane about how you wanted a big hub town for Alamigo. There you go. It's Alamigo proper, right? Unfortunately not. Would be nice, but it's not. Kind of a shame. The envelope. My elephant. My married. I like this thing. It's a good mount. So this is the graveyard. As you can tell, a lot of graves. If we go through here, then we can find a whole lot more. Where all the Alamigan kings would be buried. Guys out of our way. Yep. This was a cool place to run through. Because it's actually kind of creepy. Like, there's a lot of various enemies in here, some of which will jump up and surprise you. Build up our gauge here. We'll kill this guy, and then we'll do a we'll do a melee combo on the next one, just to show it off. I'm really happy with this red mage glamour. I like it a lot. Yeah, red mage is cool, man. Red mage is cool. Oh, for a second I got the dead end. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the way. But there's just no music down here unless you're in combat. Pretty creepy. But eventually you can work your way back through. Lifetime supply of Dr. Pepper for 24 hours. Oh, I have 3 12 packs full just for the 24-hour stream. Here we have the Royal Hunting Grounds. There used to be a nice little building here a long time ago, but it's gone now. There's also a hidden zone back here. I say hidden zone, hidden area. People always forget about it. You can see it on the map. Because I think a lot of people forget that you can fly up into these mountains. And this is another example of, like we were talking earlier about, if you can see it, you can go there. Not always. Because the border of the map's right here, so I can't actually go over there to that area there. I'm assuming that was made for a boss fight that never happened, because it looks like a boss arena. But kind of a shame, you know. Would like to be able to fly out there. Basically, as long as it's within the range of the map, you can go there. But if it's not in the range of the map, then you can't. Down here we have a single grave. A great tree. And the thought is this is either the grave of the last queen of Alamigo or of the Mad King of Alamigo. Completely separated from the rest, not allowed to be with the rest. But either way, kind of sad, you know. Fly back out of here though, and we'll go check out that other thing I wanted to show you before we go into Alamigo proper. Yeah, we can go to when we finish Stormblood, we can go check out one of the cold areas for you. Finish showing off Stormblood. I really like these PvP mounts. That's why you're seeing so much of them. The horses that have the wings. You only get those by PvPing a lot, and I really like those mounts. So underneath the locks, underneath the locks is the ruins of the city Alamigo was built on top of. Pretty cool. Pretty dang cool. And it's through there that you can get into another dungeon. Ground City of Scala. It's a pretty cool dungeon. I love this place, man. It's so evocative, right? The ruined remnants of a city that's so long ago that a kingdom with that many graves of kings has been built on top of it, you know? The first mount you get is your Chocobo. You get that mount at level 25, I think. How many packs of Dr. Pepper? 3 12 packs. 36 Dr. Peppers. I love that, man. It's so cool. Then we'll go show off the Alamigan Quarter. As we come back out in Abalantia's Skull. Yeah, we can't go in there, unfortunately. Love to. So then we have the city itself, right? We'll go ahead and switch to that Chocobo mount just so you can see it. I need to be a little bit further forward. Yep. We'll call out our boy, our good boy, Grantede. There's my Grantede. I have dyed him a dark gray and then given him armor. There's my boy. Blades on his feet for when he kicks. Do some good damage. There's also salt versions of a lot of the enemies that you would see. And there's this guy. B-Bads, who are like, man, this guy's creepy, you know? Get some edification going on here. This should be enough to get us, yeah, perfect. There we go. Our wonderful Adamantoise back again. But eventually, having conquered all the areas, you beat the castle and everything, you unlock the door to the Alamigan Quarter, which is where the Gridanians, not the Gridanians, where the Garleans have been keeping the Alamigans and making them stay so they have full run of the city. And with full access to the Alamigan Quarter, you are able to take the fight to Xenos. And this is kind of a disappointment to me that this is not just a town with like vendors and everything, you know? But it is the Alamigan Quarter. Pretty cool place. Yeah, you can dye your chocobos. You can't dye them whatever color you want, basically. You can if you know what food you're giving them, but you feed them to change the color of their feathers. And so you have to be very specific in what you feed them to change them. There's a specific food type, and depending on what order you give it in, you get a different color. So it's not like you just get to choose a color, but as long as you know the color you're going for, you just feed them the correct order, and then you get that color. I like the Alameda Quarter. It's quaint. I wish that there was more to it, you know? Well, if you'll look on Sigurd's face as we do it, he looks a little dizzy. He's got his eyes closed. But he's putting up with it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I just wish there was more to do here in the Alameda Quarter. I think it'd be a lot cooler if there was. But you defeat all of that, and then you go to Royal Menagerie. Yes, it is the Gabara turtle. And this is where you have your final showdown. The final boss is fought first here, and then further in. And it's one of my favorite boss fights in all of video games. It's such a good fight. I love the final boss of Stormblood, man. He's a great boss, and he's a really interesting character. I think the fight's really good. I think his dynamic with the player character is really good. I wish I could run out onto those really badly, but, you know. It's a good fight. It's worth getting through all the Stormblood for. Which, I say it like that, getting through Stormblood's not bad at all. Stormblood's really good. But all of Stormblood is worth it for that final fight. My main is Dragoon right now, yes. I'm going to be maining Machinist going into Shadowbringers. But my main has been Dragoon for a very long time. Why does the Samurai Sword overheat? It doesn't. Talk about this sword as it fills, that's your spirit gauge, or Kimki gauge. But Dragoon is my main. Has been since Heavensward. Before that, my main was Ninja. Ninja was my main for a very long time. And then Dragoon was what I went to. I cannot jump with one of my jumps unless I'm in combat, but I can do this jump. Which is pretty cool. A lot of abilities are tied to combat. But after that, after we beat this, we beat Stormblood. And from there, we go into the rest of the post-Stormblood story, which involves going back to Yarn Shah, dealing with Tsukiyomi, dealing with Lakshmi here in Alamigo, dealing with Kojin, Hakuro, and all of them. There's a lot of great story that happens afterwards. But that, for the most part, is the Stormblood story. Leading into the big final conflict with the Gimlet Dark that we are currently on the edge of right now as to what's going to happen there. So, Fergal was wanting to see one of the colder areas. We'll go to Falcon's Nest. Was there anything else anybody wanted to see before we call stream today? This is kind of just free time at this point to show stuff off. So. Because once I hit end stream, I'm going to go take some more NyQuil and go back to sleep. And try and get this cold beat before the 24-hour stream. But I am down to show off anything somebody wants me to show off in this game. question? What's that? Have all the Stormblood quests are finished. All the main story quests, all the side story quests. The only thing not finished are like the extra quests in a couple of the areas because I don't want to waste the XP because there's going to be Dancer and Gunbreaker that can get that XP. But all of the main quests, all of the big sub-story quests are done. Cleared all the raids. Here, we'll call our Chocobo in to back us up here. Guaranteed. You can fight alongside your Chocobo in this game. Another reason why it's worth picking up. You Samurai? I can't change in the middle of a fight, but after this I'll switch back to Samurai. Kind of tough at level 54 when I don't have access to Dueling Thrust or Legate Claw. So 14 uses a level sync system to keep it balanced, where you can't use your later level skills at lower levels. So right now for this Fate, I'm synced down to level 54 because it wouldn't be fair if I could come in here at level 70 and do level 70 damage to this. I would just destroy this. Now my stats are still higher. Even synced down, my stats are still way better than they would be otherwise. But I don't have access to all of my moves that I normally would at this level. How does one go about the initial story? How does A Realm Reborn itself start out? Well, it mostly starts with you choosing a city-state. And actually, I could switch over into a character that's lower level to show a little bit more what that's like. But you choose a city-state, and then with your city-state chosen, you then complete the story quest in the start of that city-state as the world slowly opens up to you as you do more quests. Eventually, you'll get to go to the other city-states as well. Like you start in Limsa, eventually you'll be able to go to Ul'dah and Gridania, and you can pick up the jobs that are there as well. Because again, you can have all the classes on one job, or all the classes and jobs on one character, which is really nice. And you may say, but Trey, you're max level. Why would you want to stop and do this Fate in a much lower level area? Why would that be important to you? It's because, first off, I get 287 seals. I get a little bit of gil. But I also get challenge log with my buddy. With my... Where's he at? He's under battles, maybe? Yeah, with my companion. If you defeat enemies at comparable level to your companion, you get gil. And if he's not max level, like Grantine is, then you get extra experience for them, too. Which is really cool. But yeah, as you can see here, this is the coldest area. Gruggle. Aetherite crystals are frozen. But we can go back to Gridania, and I can show a little bit of what it's like at the start. Even on this character, even with the start completed. Because it's super easy. You choose the job you want to do from the starting jobs. You don't have access to things like Dark Knight, Machinist, Astrologian, Gunbreaker, Dancer, or Samurai. I just want to go about the initial... I already read that. Expect when you start your free trial. So it'll basically say, hey, what job do you want? What class do you want? And you'll choose, and that'll depend on which... that'll change which starting zone you go to. But like, I chose Gridania So I started here and was able to switch to samurai and murder some stuff. We can do that. Did the quest in the immediate area of Gridania, and then eventually unlocked the ability to go to the other places as well. But I started as Lancer. I started as what would become Dragoon. You could start as Lancer, Thaumaturge. Lancer becomes Dragoon. Thaumaturge becomes Black Knight. You can start as Arcanist, which becomes Summoner and Scholar. You can start as White Mage, Conjurer, which becomes White Mage. You can start as Gladiator, which becomes Paladin. You can start as Marauder, which becomes Warrior. You can start as Monk, Pugilist, which becomes Monk. Archer, which becomes Bard. Or... those are all the starting ones, basically. And then later on, you can pick up Rogue and Ninja after you have one of those to level 10. And you can pick up the others when you get to their respective areas for the expansions. But very, very easy. You level pretty quickly. Doesn't take much time at all. But we'll do a little bit of... We'll murder some low-level enemies here real quick, and then I'll switch to a low-level character so you can see what that looks like. As you can see here, though, Samurai just cuts through everything. And these level 1 enemies have no chance whatsoever. And even if we move to another area here with higher level enemies, nothing in this zone is going to stand a chance compared to Samurai. Just all. Also important to note, you cannot fly in these zones. You can only fly in Heavensward zones and above. These zones were not made to fly in. So you can't fly in them. But you can get mount speed increases based on your progression in the story. So your mounts go faster in these areas than they would otherwise. Archer or Conjurer, that's fair. So we'll switch out real quick. We'll switch into one of my characters. That bugged out. That's a bug. It's not supposed to do that. We'll switch in as Clotarian. I bought him a progression skip so I can skip A Realm Reborn with him, because I have now done A Realm Reborn 5 times, I think. And I'm only going to do it one more time. I'll buy skips for A Realm Reborn at least for the rest of them. I'm only going to do it one more time, which is we're going to, at some point, we're going to play through all of the story on the stream with a new character. So I will do that with him. But I think it's worth doing the story the first time. I skipped Heavensward with a couple people too, just to get them to Stormblood. But he's only level 4. And he started at Ul'dah. Or a little level 4 Clotarian. But I'll show you what I mean when I say that you level quickly. This game also has a really cool mechanic called the Armory system when it comes to leveling. Which is if you have a class already at like max or above the others, then the rest of them get more XP to level up. So like for instance, Friday when we pick up Dancer and Gunbreaker, they will level up even faster than this does here because they will have that extra leveling. Started out your very first D&D campaign as a bard and joined Starfinder campaign. Envoy? Yeah. What's your favorite element? Conjure? Yeah. Conjurers get arrow. Hey, get back here. Stupid little ladybug. Oh, it's not what I meant to do. Here we go. And you're like, this doesn't seem very exciting. You're just throwing fireballs at little ladybugs. It's like, well, no, this part's not super exciting. but the story quests are. And once you get into like everything else going on, see, level 5 already. Once you get into everything else going on, it gets crazy quick. Really quickly. Toast some tax wars here real quick. Yep. And you always want to log out a character in a city, if all possible, because you get rested XP, which is this green bar. Lets you get extra experience, which is why I'm going to run him back in there before we log out on him and log back in on Sigurd. But, were there any other questions from the chat before we call it today? Because we've already done our full walkthrough of Stormblood. You also see how easy it is to switch between characters too. It's nothing. Dark Knight and Samurai one day. I don't blame you. I have 8 characters on the server I'm on right now, though this one's changing and this one's changing. But you only need the one. You don't have to have more than one. The one can do everything. Sigurd has done just about everything in this game. And that's what I like so much about it. You can have more if you want, to be able to redo the leveling, to be able to redo instances and things like that, but you only need Is that Odin weather? Is Odin out? That looks like Odin weather to me. Alright, now we just wait to see if chat throws a fit. It's dark a little bit. I don't see anybody throwing a fit about Odin anywhere. Shame, but... Dark Knight's a lot of fun. Alright, well, let's go back to a Stormblood area, and we'll go back to Rogers, and we'll give Stormblood a good send-off now that we've talked about it. We've answered questions from chat. And again, like, anybody has questions about 14, please, like, shoot me a message. Twitter's right there. Shoot me a message. I love talking about this game. So, Stormblood as a whole, I think was a really solid expansion. I'm excited for Shadowbringers. I don't think Stormblood was quite as good as Heavensward when it comes to story, but I liked the villain of Stormblood more than I liked the villain of Heavensward. I liked some of the characters that were introduced more. Not all of them, but some of them. The job quests were pretty good. I think it's about even with Heavensward for the job quests. I'm very excited for Shadowbringers, and I hope all of you are as well. We'll hold on for just a second longer in case there's any more questions. But if not, then we will say our farewells to Stormblood. Alright, I'm not seeing any more questions come through, so... Yep, new chapter coming up. Bunch of new characters to meet, bunch of new dungeons to do. Every job will be different. All of them. So expect a lot of Friday to be trying to get used to the new jobs and how they play. Trying to get used to all the changes. I'm very excited. And again, we won't have any other streams this week other than Friday, Saturday, because we're going to be doing the 24-hour stream Friday, as long as I don't get called into work. So, you know, hey. But it's been a very good expansion. I liked it quite a bit. What level roundabout does one have to be to start getting into expansion stories? So, A Realm Reborn is up to level 50. So by the time you finish it, you'll probably be like level 54. Heavensward is 50 to 60. Have to be at least level 50 and have completed A Realm Reborn to start Heavensward. But once you get to Ishgard, even if you haven't completed Heavensward, you can get Dark Knight, Astrologian, or Machinist. Then Stormblood is level 60 to 70. But again, if you've beaten Heavensward, you can get Red Mage and Samurai right away. Because Red Mage is in Ul'dah, and Samurai is also in Ul'dah, I think. Then Shadowbringers will be 70 to 80 going up there. And I don't know yet where the classes are going to be. They're picking up Dancer and Gunbreaker. But so I hope you guys will all come join me Friday. We're going to start at 4 a.m. my time. It's on the schedule, so you can find it and get it in your time as well. But Samurai is in Ul'dah, at least level 60, or level 50 maybe. And Dark Knight is in Ishgard, at least level 50. But with all that said, everybody, I have been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Goodbye, Stormblood. It's been great. You've been a really great expansion. I super approve of you. I hope all of you like Stormblood as well. Here's looking at Shadowbringers! Yeah! Until next time, though, everybody, remember to always enjoy the full I messed it up. I messed up the outro. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Stormblood had to offer. Later, everybody.